So welcome to a series of videos on Schubert's Impromptus D899, and we'll go through all of them with a small bit for each, about 10 to 20 bars, starting with the first one, going through to the fourth one. And yeah, they're really amazing pieces, and for me they sort of herald the passing of the torch of Beethoven to Schubert, especially with the first one being a funeral march. I think that's sort of in honor of Beethoven, and at the very final bars of that first one have an additional four chords which sound like bells, just like funeral bells, and there are four of them, I think, because they represent the four impromptus which mark the beginning of a new period in piano. That's what I think was Schubert's intention anyway, because they were published just after, and I think to coincide with the passing of Beethoven. After his death there were these four impromptus, and I think Schubert made sure that they came out just after his death. I wonder if he had actually shown them to Beethoven before they were published. Maybe he had, but we don't know of that, of course. And Beethoven wouldn't have been able to hear them, except in his head. But so I think that they are Schubert's proclamation of a new epoch in music, and starting with these piano pieces. With music, I think, starting with Schubert, and particularly with these four impromptus, there's a whole new colour brought into music, in my opinion, and a whole new emphasis on shade, and an emphasis on I suppose romanticism. So I think it's the beginning of the romantic period of music. I think it begins with Schubert, and in particular with these four impromptus. Of course, they're followed by another four impromptus, which is D935. And anyway, so here we go. So we'll be going through these week by week with about, as I say, 10 measures for each piece. I think the easiest of these four is number 3 or number 2, because number 2 is just an E flat major chord scale. Number 3 is also very easy. It lies nicely under the hands. Number 4 is quite easy for that reason as well. And number 1 is a much more difficult, I think, impromptu, a very different sounding impromptu to the other three. But anyway, I'm just going to do for this session the first 10 or so measures, so they're all easy, all doable. I won't explain what I'm doing, but if you keep up with me through these weeks, we'll go through these and learn these four together, and we'll hopefully reach the end of them in a few months' time. Here we go. Here's the first one, number 1, and then number 2, 3 and 4. So forgive me for the mistakes that I make, but this is just to show you the measures that I want to do with you as we both go through these impromptus together. So this is the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the first impromptu, and the first I'll probably do the first page of the second impromptu because it just repeats, and almost exactly. And then the third impromptu I'll just do the first 1, 2, 3, 4, probably the first 5 measures, and the last impromptu I'll just do the first basically the first page of that one too. Yeah. Okay, it more or less repeats itself, but there are some significant changes. So here's the first one. Here we go. And I'll play them all much slower than they are supposed to be played. That's the first one. And then the second one we'll do a whole page of, because it, as I say, repeats itself somewhat. I start with the third finger and the small finger. And then the third impromptu. And then the fourth one. Let me do that one again. Okay, so there we go. Completely mucked up that fourth one, but I mucked up all of them really, but they're just to show you where I want to stop in this first week of learning. That fourth one is relatively easy, then I mucked it up a bit, sorry about that. But next week we'll go for the next 10 or so measures, and hopefully we'll get this done in a few months. So see you next time.